Hello, this is Jim Pulsifer from Namm Show 2011 on Friday, January 14th, and I'm here with Christian Hatstatt from Magneto Guitars, and we're going to ask him a few questions here for CustomGuitarBoutique.com. Is this your first year at Namm, Christian?
Well, actually, no. It's my second year with Magneto, but all in all, it's probably the 20th time I come here to the Namm show.
So you've worked for other companies?
Yeah,
and some with other companies.
Yeah. I've been working in this business for it's my 21st year here. So I'm doing guitar specific.
And what brings you to Namm this time?
Well, the main reason is to hook up with a few musicians and a few friends, and actually also people from all over the world which wanted to meet and to test the guitars.
And just since you've been to Namm for so many years, what do you think is the biggest change from, let's say, 20 years ago versus now?
I think what I've noticed on the first day, what really hit me is the fact that some people, especially the high-end makers, do not show their guitars this year, which is it's a little bit a pity. But yeah, to come back to your question, the main change is that I find that most of the instruments displayed here do effectively come from one and the same country.
Right.
and which is, it's positive and negative. It's just it's good because you get gear for effectively a cheaper price, but a lot of the knowledge goes lost with this system.
Where do Magneto Guitars come from?
We're in Japan. We are
so you're a little different from the vast majority of present-day manufacturers.
Yeah, well, I got a little bit of a special history here, but I've been making guitars with my friends in Japan for now 17 years, and
wow.
We've always been, it's a bit difficult to explain because Japan is actually right now. You can only produce high-end guitars due to the labor costs, but on the other hand, my friends and myself, we knew that there was a possibility to make high-end guitars, because Japan has always been known for the entry level from came from the 60s.
Mm-hmm. But not so much anymore, though, right?
Not so much anymore, and a lot of people have done their homework properly, and I've been participating on the evolution, if I may say so, by working on and developing ideas with my Japanese friends.
Well, let's take a look at this guitar that we have here. I was playing this when I came in, and it just plays fantastic. By the way, I'm very impressed with it. It plays fantastic. I haven't heard it, but acoustically, it sounds fantastic. Tell me what sets this apart from other guitars of similar style.
Well, basically, we call it, I like to call it a retro modern concept, because we try to take a lot of the influence from the early 50s and bring them into literally into 2011, because a lot of the style in it is classic, yet there's many twists into that, and the most important one is that we try to create an instrument that is basically balanced differently. We put less mass in the body. It's a little bit a smaller body than, for instance, a standard telly would be.
Why don't you turn it sideways just to see? So it's about the same width, though, isn't it? But it's less. But a little bit less wood total.
It's if you compare it to a telly, there's less on the shoulder here. There's more on the horn, and there's a little bit less here too.
And that makes a difference in weight.
The important difference comes from the fact that due to that new balancing, you put a stronger emphasis on the mid-range frequencies, which is actually where we wanted to go. So we made quite a few tests before we got there, and I was always fond of small guitars If you go too small in a body design, it's not, people would not like it, but it's interesting in terms of the tones you get out of it.
So this would have less mid-range or more mid-range than
definitely more mid-range.
More mid-range.
The best way to explain it is you raise the complex mid-range frequencies, and you have a little bit less basses and a little bit less of the high treble, which is exactly where I wanted it to be. Because, I mean, the basic idea comes from speaking to a lot of sound engineers who are telling me I need to put a low pass on the electric guitar signal on almost every mix. So this is how the idea grew, you know.
I see. What's the configuration on this guitar? I see you have a traditional bridge, but they look like they're compensated saddles.
Yeah. So speaking about the bridge,
Okay.
we are working with the brass saddles to maintain the classic tones, and this is, I believe, very important. Yet we wanted the guitar to intonate perfectly. So we have those brass saddles that are made for us by Goto, but have been designed by a friend called Trevor Wilkinson, which is, you know, well known in the industry.
Wilkinson, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the plates is actually a design of ours, where, you know, we change some areas of the traditional
to get out of the way of the player.
To get out of the way of the player, to make it easier. You know. In terms of pickups, we like to go new ways too. You know, we try to keep away from the very traditional configuration. So what we have here is a tele-bridge pickup, but wound with more mid-range, so slightly over-wound. You know, the result is less treble, because we combine it on the neck with a P90 pickup, which ultimately is, you know, traditionally quite mid-range heavy, but this one we underwound it by about, you know, 5 to 10%, and this gives, you know, a little bit more of higher mid-range.
These are two single-coil pickups. Do they? Oh, they're not.
They are.
They are. Do they humbuck in the center position?
Yes.
Reverse one, reverse polarity. So if you're in the center, then you will have no hum.
Yeah.
At that point,
but basically what we do is we work with very standard pickup configuration. So we're not trying to eliminate the hum, because every attempt that has been done so far does also take away some of the magic of the real single coils.
Yeah, yeah.
And what we do, on the other hand, is we try to create a real Faraday cage on the inside, meaning that we use dotite spray, you know, to you know, to keep the pickups as quiet as possible.
And this is we talked about this before. It's nitro. The paint is nitro.
Yeah. Well, what the concept is simple. All the bodies of all our guitars are finished with nitro,
which is, you know, most people will say better resonance than a polyester finished guitar. A polyester finished guitar will bottle up the sound, correct?
Absolutely. We wanted to go wanted to do this for that specific reason, bearing in mind that nitro is probably not the most solid finish, but it's definitely the best thing in terms of sound.
Yes.
We use a different approach on the neck for obvious reasons. We use a thin urethane, which we can go satin. We can go very thin with this one.